Hello everyone. So today we are focusing on the topic that is your subject from wastewater engineering, water and wastewater engineering, and your first module is water treatment plant. So you can see the picture of one that is your water treatment plant. So these are the different units. So basic introduction about the water. So no life can exist without water, since the water is a very essential for life as air. So not taking so much of time, we are going to focus on the water treatment plant. So before learning about the water treatment plant, you have to know about the component of different water supply scheme. So there are four types of water supply scheme. So that is there is a four component of water supply scheme. So one that is collection work, second one is transmission work, third one is purification work, and fourth one is distribution work. So as the name is suggests, you can easily understand there are the different component of what. One that is collection work. So collection work include collecting of water from the any source of water. So it could be surface water and the groundwater. Second one is transmission of work. So transmission of work. So after collecting of water from any source, you have to transfer the water to the treatment plant. So transmission work include pipes, channels, aqueducts. So these are the transmission work. Then after transmission work, third one is purification work. So purification work include your whole water treatment plant in which water is treated, and after the treating of water, last one is distribution work. So it includes the network of pipes, pipe fittings, elevated and ground reservoirs. Reservoirs means that is your water tank which is underground and which is elevated. So there are the different component of the water supply schemes. So this is the figure of water supply distribution system. So you can easily see that source, one that is collection work, then pipes network, that is your transmission work. After transmission work, the water come into the treatment plant where it is treated by the different process, and after treating the water, it is stored in the storage tank, and after the storage tank, it is distributed to the consumers. So now I am going to focus on the schematic diagram of the domestic water treatment plant. Okay, so you can easily see the figure of water treatment plant. So there are the different treatment units shown in the figure in the water treatment plant. So first, that is your channel screen. Raw water consumers, that is after the collecting of water and transmission work, the water is come to the water treatment plant. So that is your raw water, and after the raw water collection, first unit is your channel screen. Then after the channel screen, second unit is preliminary settling tank. Third one is still well. Okay, after the still well, aeration fountains. Aeration fountains next to the chemical mixing. Okay, after chemical mixing, there is a flocculation channel. After flocculation channel, clarifier. After clarifier unit, there is a filter. After filter, there is a clear water sump. After clear water sump, there is a overhead RCC tank, and last one is distribution network. Okay, so this is your whole domestic water treatment plant diagram. So these are the in which figure you can see the different units. Okay, and the process which is done in the different units, that is known as the process of water treatment. So first, that is your channel screen. So there are the different types of channel screen. screening, there is a two types of screen, one that is fine screen and second one is coarse screen. So in screening, in channel screen, there is a process is taken place, that is your screening process. Okay, then after the screening, okay, now starting with the first unit of the treatment plant. So that is your screen, channel screen. So screening is the first unit of the treatment plant. So in which screening removes the floating metals. So which are the floating metals? So that is your clothes, plastic bags, then plastic bottles, branches of leaves. Okay, so these all are the floating matter which is removed in the screen. So screening is divided into two groups, one that is fine screen and second one is the coarse screen. So how it is divided? So coarse screen, so why it is called coarse screen? So distance between the bars which is provided in the screen, so distance between this bar is about 20 to 100 mm, and in fine screen, so the distance between these bars is around 10 mm. So it is called the wire mesh, so that's why it is called the fine screen. And coarse screen, the distance between the bars are 20 to 100 mm, that's why it is called the fine screen. And the dia of this bar is 20 to 25 mm. Now the question is, the screen is placed where the screen is placed in the plant, and generally placed it is in the inclined position. So the question is arrived why it is placed at the inclined position. So when we are going to provide the at inclination, so inclination degree is around 40 to 70 degrees Celsius. So when we are providing this inclination, so the surface area is increased and also the velocity is reduced. So the floating matters are because of this, the large floating metals could be collected on the screen. That's why we are providing the inclination. And in the fine screen, why we are not using the fine screen? Most probably because it clogs frequently and the head loss increase. That's why we are not frequently use the fine screen. So mostly we are using the coarse screen at the water treatment plant. After the screening process, the water is taken to the primary settling tank. So that is your second unit of water treatment plant. So there are the two types of settling. So first of all, what is sedimentation? In primary sedimentation tank, there is a process which is taken place that is known as sedimentation. So what is sedimentation? So sedimentation is a process of settling of particles by reducing the velocity of the particles. So in the plain sedimentation tank, only which particle are removed which have the higher density than the water, that is known as settleable solids. So in plain sedimentation or in the primary sedimentation tank, only the settling particles which have the higher density than the water which are settled down in the primary settling tank. So after settling particles, the water is taken to the steel well. In steel well, steel well is used to equalize the flow of the water. So after the steel well, the water is come into the aeration tank. So what is first of all, what is the aeration? So aeration word which is related to supply of air or the oxygen. So water is brought in intimate contact with the oxygen that is known as aeration process. So with the help of aeration process, we can remove the other gases like CO2 and H2S from the water. Similarly, with the help of aeration, we can also remove the metallic compound like the Fe, which can be removed by the aeration process also. So when we are adding the oxygen or the air to the water, there is a possibility of converting the H plus concentration in the water. That's why it is increase the concentration of H plus ion, so it will reduce your metallic compound plus odor plus color. So there are the different types of aerators which are used for the aeration process. So there are many types of aerators. One that is cascade aerators, second one is spray nozzle aerators, and third one is diffuser aerators. So most probably the cascade aerators are most widely used in the all treatment plants because it is a cheap and economical, and in which step cascade aerator, it is made of by the RCC steps and no maintenance is required in these aerators. That's why it is most economical and easy cheap. Now the next step is next unit is chemical mixing. Now you can see we are removing first we are removing the floating matter, then we are removing the settleable solids. After settleable solid, we are removing the color, odor and taste of the water in the aeration fountains. Now the solids which are remain in the suspensal, that is known as fine suspended solids, which is not removed from by the settling process, so that are removed by the chemical mixing. So this chemical is known as coagulant. So coagulant, there are the many types of different coagulant which are used for the water treatment. So most widely used alum and the lime. So in chemical mixer we are adding the coagulant here, and after adding the coagulant, the water is taken to the flocculation channel. So in flocculation channel there is a mixing of this coagulant, and after coagulation process, the water is taken to the clarifier, and in clarifier is just the primary sedimentation. It's just a sedimentation tank in which the settling is done. So coagulated water is settled down in the settling tank, and the clear water is taken to the filter. Okay, so this is the simple process. So in chemical process, in chemical mixing, we are removing the fine suspended particles. Okay, now in the filter process, there is also some remaining fine suspended particles, that is known as colloidal particles, which are not removed from the coagulation process. So that's why we are using the filter process. So filtration process is known as when we are passing the water through the beds of granular material, that is known as filter process. So granular material, that is like the sand and the gravel. So when we are passing the water through the granular material, it is known as filtration process. So in this filter unit, there is nothing but the beds of the sand, and after the bed sand there is a supporting granular material in which we are passing the water through it, and the removal of remaining fine suspended particles and plus bacteria, turbidity, odor and taste, which are removed in the filtration process. So after filtration process, the clear water is going to the clear water sump, but before that we are adding the disinfection process. We are going to give the disinfection to the water. So for the disinfection water, we are using the chlorine, which remove the pathogenic bacteria from the water, and after that the water is taken to the clear water sump, and clear water sump to the RCC overhead tank and to the distribution work. So this is the schematic diagram of domestic water treatment plant. Simple all the process. I have not given the brief discussion all the units, but I have given the basic information of all the units and the basic process which is done in all the units. So this is the typical layout of domestic water treatment plant. So this is the elevation. So you can see the one number, that is source, second one is screen. So you can see the screen is provided at the inclination, and I have explained you why it is provided at the inclination. Then primary sedimentation tank, then steel well, then coagulation chamber. After coagulation, the mixing race, the coagulation and population process. After population process, the clarifier, the water is going to the clarifier in which the second is done. After the sedimentation, the water is taken to the filter house in which the water is passed through the granular bed materials, and after the filtration process it is going to the clear water sump. From the clear water sump or from the pump through, it is going to the elevated RCC overhead tank, and from the RCC overhead tank it is distributed to the consumers. So this is the end of the water treatment plant module. So I think you all have understood very well. So I will give the basic information about this water treatment plant. So in next video we are going to discuss the brief in all the units. So thank you everyone.